Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi today made headlines today because she walked into Parliament carrying a tote bag showing the word Palestine written on its back on her bag. Now, this image of a smiling Priyanka Gandhi glancing over her shoulders with the bag became a big talking point. Her picture was posted on the social media by Congress spokesperson Shama Mohammed, and obviously there were a lot of reactions coming in just within a short span of time. There were lots of users writing on this particular picture. Just one particular user, if I may quote, has written that it was not in good taste to support an organization like Hamas on Vijay Diwas, the day India under former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi defeated the Pakistani forces. Now, this is just one particular tweet I'm talking about, but BJP has reacted saying that Priyanka Gandhi was wearing a bag of appeasement. And a lot of people from the BJP camp also have been reacting on it. Priyanka Gandhi said that what I wear is my choice and I don't believe in patriarchy. So, why has this become a big issue today? Priyanka Gandhi carrying a bag in parliament today, what has irritated BJP? We'll try and get answers on these questions. Joining me now is TK Rajlakshmi, Senior Deputy Editor of The Frontline. Thank you so much, Rajlakshmi, for joining. And we have International Affairs expert Sanjay Kapoor, and a veteran journalist too. Thank you so much for joining, Sanjay. And I'll begin with Rajlakshmi. I was just wondering that, what is irritating the people on the social media when Priyanka Gandhi walks into Parliament with that tote bag on which it's emblazoned Palestine?
Well, it's really silly actually. I mean, of course, if people within the BJP are opposing that, they should at least have some sense of history, or even forget history, but recent history. For instance, India's own position, in the in the UNGA on supporting resolutions, which have severely criticized Israel's depopulating activities, in Gaza as well as Palestine. And now the thing is that so first, they should have a sense of history. I mean, I'm saying, okay, forget history of the past since 19 I mean, say since 1947, when India was opposed, to the division of Palestine, and subsequently it was the first non-Arab state to support, the creation of Palestine, to support the independence, of course, the sovereignty of Palestine too. In fact, it recognized Israel's sovereignty and statehood only in 1992. Okay, it recognized Palestinian sovereignty and statehood as long back as 1988. Now, so India's always affirmed, its strong position and support of the cause of the Palestinian people. I mean, as well as the right of, Palestine to exist as a state, and its nationhood. So in contrast, so I'm saying that some sense of history is, important. And so today, if Priyanka Gandhi sort of holds a bag, which shows, which has, Palestine in, inscribed on it. I think it's a matter of great. I mean, she's actually sort of making a statement that we, the people of India, have, historically stood with the struggling people of Palestine, and we sort of continue to affirm that support. And in fact, as I said, the BJP trolls should also look at, their own government. I mean, for of course, initially the Modi government was a little iffy on the issue of, of supporting, what is happening. The issue of condemning, Israel, for what it was doing because of the Hamas attack. So it was like, first you have to condemn Hamas, then we will condemn what's happening in Palestine. But as the numbers grew, the toll now is close to 40,000. Okay, now even so, subsequently, India has, supported all the UN resolutions which have called for a ceasefire. So at least there has to be some sense, when they go about, or some sense of, humanity, for that matter. Forget sense of history. At least have some sense of, humanity, some sense of empathy as to what's happening in that country. Today, in fact, the BJP leaders should go about carrying bags, with support for Palestine inscribed on it. If they have any
No,
sense
but
of
the manner in which BJP is reacting, Raj Lakshmi, what would you
yeah.
say to that? Sambit Patra saying that it's a bag of appeasement. Likewise, I'm seeing Dilip Mandal's reaction with the he's posted the picture of Priyanka Gandhi saying that Congress is now Indian Muslim League. Now, if those are the kind of reactions coming in from the BJP, what does it show? Is it a myopic view they have taken? Are they backtracking from the position from India's position on Palestine? I'll speak to Sanjay also on that. But if this is how BJP is reacting, what would you really say to this?
Well, the other element in this entire, um, entire saga or whatever, I mean, one may call it, is uh, is is India's close ties, with Israel. So those ties
Yeah,
have also grown over the years, and which denotes a considerable shift from what it was earlier. So whether it's ties to do with defense ties, whether it's to do with India's growing proximity to Israel, on various other issues also. And also the common factor being Islamic terror. You see, so since that is one of Hindutva's pet peeves, Islamic terror. So on that, both Israel and India, and especially India under the BJP, they come they come together on that issue. So there's a lot of bhaichara or whatever on that issue. So I think they are viewing it from that prism alone. I mean, that's why it's a very, very narrow, myopic way of looking at Palestine today. I mean, and it's sad, actually. It's really sad if they do not have a sense of history. As I said, they just need to look at what India has been doing,
yeah,
also at the UNJ, irrespective of India's ties with Israel. But they
right.
are only able to see through the prism of their narrow Hindutva politics, and that Islamic terror, being the common denomination. When in fact the struggle in Palestine has nothing to do with Islamic terror at all. They are just
Absolutely.
ordinary people who are struggling to stay afloat. I mean, in a place which is rightfully theirs and which has been
Absolutely.
occupied by Israel, because
Right.
Israel are the occupiers, you know, and they're fighting for survival, literally, huh? And Israel is depopulating them, yeah, I mean, even as we speak. Yeah.
Right. Right. In fact, Priyanka Gandhi also has said, and otherwise as well, that any right thinking individual would anyhow support the Palestinian cause. But Sanjay, coming to you, we are told that the officials at the Palestinian embassy had met Priyanka Gandhi a few weeks ago, I think, or a month ago. And is this an outcome where the embassy has reached out to the opposition that, look, the government is not listening to us, and so they also start voicing our concerns? So is that an outcome? And obviously it's come out as a style statement because Priyanka has worn a bag over her shoulders. But does this look like the fact that Palestine is seeking support from India's opposition also now?
I don't think. Thank you for giving me a chance to listen to Rajalakshmi's views on this. Somehow this resonate with mine. But having said that, you're talking about the Palestinian outreach to the Indian opposition. I don't think it really requires in so many words because I haven't spoken with Palestinians, but I have a definite view about what is happening. The disproportionate number of people who have been killed can outrage anybody. I wonder why Priyanka Gandhi was on the defensive, saying that she doesn't believe in patriarchy and all that. She should have been more forthright. She should have been very critical of the trolls who are saying that they have no sense of history, they have no humanitarian impulse in their bodies, they have nothing going for them. So
Hmm.
that is the reason why they are opposing it. In a certain way, there is a need that the Congress should have done. It's a pity that there have been no demonstration, say for a very few stray ones in different parts of the country, and they have been treated very shabbily by the state governments or by district administrations wherever they've been held. So, in my view, this is a issue where I think people should have risen up. They should have talked about it. India has traditionally been a country where any kind of violation of human rights used to provoke protests of this nature.
No, I
Because of
think,
the Indian
Sanjay, you were
nature of
saying that Priyanka was on the defensive. I don't think she was on the defensive so much because she said in her post that it is the moral responsibility of every right thinking individual, including all those Israeli citizens who do not believe in hatred and violence, and every government in the world to condemn the Israeli government's genocidal actions and force them to stop. This is what she had to say. And
true.
a few months ago also she's spoken on Palestine. Yes, Sanjay.
Well, if she said that, then I mean, I would like to withdraw my comment that she was on the defensive. But
Hmm.
my thing is that Rahul hasn't spoken. The party has been rather wishy-washy in their opposition. They should have been more forthright. There's always this fear that the Muslims, you take up a cause for Muslims and the Hindus will go away. And
Hmm.
this has been a problem with the Congress for a long time. They're most reluctant to even stand by Muslims. They think the Muslims will have no other choice but to vote for them. But the truth is that on such matters, you need to stand up. And we have vacillated on the Palestine Israeli issue for
True.
a while. It's only now we have begun to demand very categorically that there should be a ceasefire at the earliest. But the truth is that there's so much harm that has been done. And the nature of the borders of the entire West Asia threaten to be changed in the manner that we had not even conceived in the time when it started on October 7th. So that is where it is all going. And we are not waking up to the changing reality. We are not talking about it, primarily because I think the government of Mr. Narendra Modi, the BJP, seems to be a major beneficiary of whatever is going to happen. They have close ties with the Israeli government. They will also join up when that corridor comes into being, the IMAC. They have a defense agreement on many issues. They're drones are getting manufactured in India. They're buying weapons from India. Mr. Adani is very close to them. So, in a certain way, it's a relationship which is, it's showing up at different levels. And all those people, all those entities are being opposed by the Congress. So, they need to be more forthright. That problem is that they are somewhere in between on many issues. And that is why, there is no choice, no difference between the two parties.
Right. But Rajlakshmi, coming to you now, I mean, this is the position as far as the international view is concerned. But has Priyanka Gandhi today, by wearing that bag, has she made a bold move politically? Like Sanjay said, Rahul has not spoken on this issue. Congress as a party has not condemned it in many words. So Priyanka Gandhi being a newbie in parliament, and she's making this kind of not only a style statement, I wouldn't call it a style statement, but the kind of position she's taken, a strong one. And would you see that as a bold move within the Congress as well?
Yes, it is, but it has to move beyond that. As Sanjay also said, there have to be some action, on ground. There were several groups, in fact, left and progressive groups who did take out protests, in various cities, but there was a complete clampdown on them, including in Congress-led governments. In Karnataka, it happened in Bangalore. Of course, it happened in Delhi, where the Delhi police did not allow them even to congregate, for a little public meeting. It's a show of support. It's not a call to arms. It's just a show of support for the struggling people, solidarity, for the people of Palestine. And as Sanjay also said, we've always historically supported the cause, of struggling peoples all over the world, whether it's Cuba, whether it's South Africa, in fact, apartheid. We were huge critics, of apartheid, and including Palestine. So that is our history. That is a history which we ought to take pride in, and not simply reduce it to Islamic terror and everything comes to that. That is the only thing that some people can think of. So ideally, the the Congress should have, in fact, relived its own legacy. Okay,
No, but
it's, I mean,
lot
whether
of
it's Nehru, whether it's
lot
Indira Gandhi. Yeah.
No, I'm saying a lot of BJP leaders have reacted to this. Now, say, for instance, look what Anurag Thakur has said. He has said that was the bag a statement? Why has she kept mum on issues of Bangladeshi Hindus? It is a big question mark. It is an Indian parliament. MPs are elected here from across the country to try and raise the concerns of 140 crore Indians. So, I mean, how does one read these kind of statements like Anurag Thakur, Sambit Patra, Amit Malviya also has reacted? What would you say to that?
No, so why don't they ask their own government? Why don't they ask in fact, their own leaders within the government? Why don't they ask Jai Shankar, or the PM for the kind of positions that India has taken at the UNGA? If I mean, because then they don't seem to say anything, or they don't
Right.
have anything to say. But here, I mean, if somebody carries a bag in parliament, it becomes big issue. And it happens to be Priyanka Gandhi. It's time to sort of label her, as well as the Congress party, as pro Islamic, pro-Muslim, that is so reductionist, and so infantile. I mean, one level. I'm sure, in fact, no right-thinking Indian, would make that association at all with what's happening in Palestine today. I mean, they've been
Absolutely.
completely plastered. 40,000 or more people have died.
Hmm.
Where is Islamic terror here?
Hmm.
The only terror has been done by by Israel. The only terror activity is being conducted by Israel and its cohorts. Of course, the
Hmm.
Americans in the lead, and all those countries who have refused to, in fact, back the UNGA resolutions on condemning Israel and pushing for a ceasefire. I
Right.
mean, I
I
think
also
I think
want
India should speak much
to, sorry,
more
huh, go ahead.
vociferously than it has done, at the UNGA level, and it has to press forth more. In fact, strongly for a
Right.
ceasefire. In fact, when it abstained the first time, Nilu, it was the only country to do so. In the global South, it was so embarrassing. I mean, I'm sure. I mean,
Absolutely.
it was really uncalled for. But
Right.
but I think
But
subsequently they made good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to pick up some more reactions coming from the BJP. Now, look at what Amit Malviya has said, who's BJP's IT cell head. And he has accused the MP of using a communal virtue signaling under the guise of a stand against patriarchy. What he has said, I'm going to quote, at the end of this parliament session, observe a 2 minute silence for everyone in the Congress who believed Priyanka Vadra was the solution. Sporting a bag in support of Palestine in parliament is a crass communal posturing. Make no mistakes, Congress is the new Muslim League. Sanjay, your reaction to this?
I don't want to react to what Amit Malvi or anybody reacts to, says, or whatever they do. But I think there is a very, crying need to fight disinformation and to also figure out what is really happening to the Hindus of Bangladesh. Are they
Hmm.
dying in as many numbers as in Palestine or not? How many have died? In fact, the other day, Mamta Banerjee said that, this misinformation which is creating a certain kind of confusion about it. And even when our Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri went and he raised the issue of radicalization of the Muslims and how Hindus were maltreated, the question they asked also that how many you think have been shot down or who have been taught, been mutilated or been killed. I don't think there is an answer. I don't think more than two people have been really killed, maybe a few more. But does it compare with Palestine? Is it the same issue? So the BJP MPs and leaders who are field wielded whenever such a crisis takes place, they should even consider whether spreading disinformation is something that they would like to be seen with, whether there is a penalty for doing it. So there is, I think, a need for politics to be a bit more fact oriented rather than just jostling all kinds of propaganda against each other.
Yeah. But what would you really say to the position which now India has taken towards Palestine? I mean, if you've heard Jay Shankar often has said that, look, we've provided so much of aid to the Palestine. And beyond this, you don't hear much because of the political positioning which BJP has taken.
Yeah, it's very clearly what is, who's arraigned against Palestine. You have the West, you have US, you have practically every world power which is backing Israel. Even China and Russia are not they pull punches when it comes to criticizing Israel very much. So in those circumstances, India hasn't really been very forthcoming in criticizing them. It goes to the credit of South Africa, which took up a stand and went to International Court of Justice and made an example of them. It is actually the judgment of the ICJ which is giving some kind of nightmares to Netanyahu. Many countries who are signatories of ICJ are saying that in one after another that they will take action on the ICJ issuing warrant and perhaps arrest Netanyahu who comes there. So, if we look at it, there is ambivalence, visible ambivalence, there is visible contradiction in the way we have been using our foreign policy. And we are thriving on these in these circumstances because nobody is asking us to take a firm stand. There's no demand coming in from our own public that what is a stand. So India's domestic politics allows, in a certain way, trashing Palestine because they're seen as Muslims. It's seen
Yeah.
as an anti-Islamic cause. I mean, a cause where the Islamists need to be hammered down, but Palestine is not Islam at all. It is a combination of many, many religions, many different, which if you go to West Asia, realize that there are so many different denominations which are there. And it is important that there is a certain education that should go into the way we conduct our foreign policy, how we take a stand. But tragically, it is not happening. I mean, anybody that the West decides to tar is seen to be Muslim, and we are happy to do the same. So it's a
Absolutely.
situation where we can't do very much. So there's no harm, no use trying to educate anybody because nobody's willing to listen.
Right. But I also want to bring in the patriarchy point, which Priyanka had mentioned about it, that what I wear is my choice. And that is also one aspect which needs to be discussed. Raj Lakshmi, I'll come to you and then I'll wind up the show. That what about this bit of, how BJP cannot tolerate liberals, how BJP cannot tolerate those people who are, who have taken a stand for the Muslims or for the Muslim population. And then this bit about patriarchy that, what they don't understand this right to choice. Okay, it's her choice. She's chosen to wear that bag. So why comment on that? And unnecessary, and they've given a handle to Priyanka today. She is in the news, and that she's done it cleverly for a cause.
Well, patriarchy. I mean, I don't know whether it really sort of fits in this argument, but I think she meant maybe that I don't want to be told, what to do, and of course, patriarchs normally tell people what to do. So
Yeah,
I think she was speaking from that point of view, and it's quite
yeah.
possible that all those people who have critiqued her or also happen to be male, maybe. So I think she used the word patriarch and patriarchy, and in that context, I mean, essentially, yes, she could have used that opportunity to say several things, also sort of reminding them, themselves of their own government's position at the UNGA. I mean, of course, belated support to Palestine, etc. But still, so I think she did. She could have. I mean, she could have used that opportunity, and she also was making, I think, larger point also in saying that I will do what I want,
Yeah.
as
You
a
cannot
woman.
tell me. I'll
Yeah,
do what I want.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Sanjay, Raj Lakshmi. It was wonderful
Thank
having you
you
on the
so much.
program.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nilu.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Namaste.
Good to meet you also. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.